Arsenal's window has suddenly taken on the rhythm of a political coup, with one high-impact arrival threatening to redraw the entire map of the squad. Reports now say Piero Hincapié has agreed terms with the Gunners, a move that arrives not as a whisper but as a thunderclap. A tall, athletic, ball-playing Ecuadorian centre-back who fits the modern profile Mikel Arteta prizes. The structure of the deal is still being negotiated. Whispers of a loan with an obligation to buy swirl through the same corridors that this signing could be the spark for a chain reaction. That spark appears to have already ignited a fire at the other end of the rope. Kiwior, once a talismanic defensive option for Arteta, is suddenly being linked with Porto, reports suggesting a loan, perhaps with a purchase obligation later, is close to completion. Imagine the implications. One incoming figure who strengthens the spine, one existing central defender being jettisoned to make room, and a dressing room recalibrating in real time. But the story does not stop at two players. The air around Emirates Stadium now smells of reshuffle. Names like Oleksandr Zinchenko, Rias Nelson, Fabio Vieira and Albert Sambi Lokonga have been dragged into conversation as potential exits before the window slams shut. Each of those departures would not be an isolated transaction. They would represent a deliberate clearing of space, both in wages and squad slots, to fund and future-proof Arteta's project. For a manager who prizes tactical flexibility and pressing from a compact unit, the ability to bring in a defender of Hincapié's profile while letting go of others changes how the team can line up, press and build from the back. Hincapié's speed, directness and comfort on the ball could allow Arteta to vary between a high defensive line and a more conservative block depending on the opposition, and that tactical swing may be exactly what he is gambling on. Financially, there's also a logic. A loan with obligation structure lowers immediate outlay while locking in a long-term plan, but it also signals urgency. Get the player registered now, tie the future together, and then move other pieces to balance the book. That sense of urgency explains why clubs like Porto are suddenly front and centre in Kiwi's future. They offer an immediate solution, the kind of tidy transfer choreography clubs favour as the deadline looms. Beyond Arsenal, the wider market is twitching too. Reports suggest Crystal Palace have lodged an offer for Manchester City centre-back Manuel Akanji, potentially linked to their need to replace Mark Guéhi, while whispers about Nicholas Jackson's willingness to consider Bayern Munich underline a transfer market that is at once frantic and precise. Every move sends ripples. If Kiwior leaves, Arsenal will have to decide whether to lean on the remaining centre-backs or bring in yet another profile to complement Hincapié. If Zinchenko or others depart, the Gunners will need to patch and pivot, perhaps accelerating other deals and youth promotions. Or for Arteta, who has built coherence through careful recruitment and repeated tactical drills, the balance between continuity and revolution is razor-thin. A single signing can either shore up vulnerabilities or unsettle a carefully crafted hierarchy. Fans will ask, is this a masterstroke that deepens the squad for a title push, or a gamble that risks cohesion for the sake of headline signings? The answer will arrive slowly, in medicals, in completed paperwork, and in the manager's choices on the training ground. The transfer window is a crucible. In one corner, Arsenal appear to be betting on a defender who could transform their backline. In the other, they are making hard choices about who stays and who goes. Rivals will watch closely. A late window domino fall at the Emirates could force reactionary bids across the league. For now, the key things to watch are the finalisation of Hincapié's deal, the format of any loan-to-buy clauses, and Porto's movement on Kiwior. Beyond the paperwork, the deeper story is what this tells us about Arsenal's intent. Are they gearing up for a full-blown title assault, or are they reshuffling to consolidate a top-four base for future summers? Either way, this transfer chapter feels less like routine business and more like the opening act of a season-defining drama. And with the deadline looming, fans, pundits and rival sporting directors alike are bracing for the next twist.